Hello, this is Crypto CJ. It's the trade of the day. Monday night Zoom edition. Bitcoin has regrettably dropped below 40, which is bad news. We just had the closing candle finish. So it's 5 o'clock Pacific, which is midnight UTC time. So closing below 40 is bad. We could be dipping down even further into the 30s, mid to high to mid 30s. So let's look at the chart. All right, you guys should be seeing my Bitcoin day chart.
Yes.
Let's make this bigger. And my range didn't last very long. I think I drew this on Friday or was it last Monday? I don't remember. But we closed below it, got a new candle opening up now. We were down to about 39.3, so we're up a few $100s since then. But Terry Oliver from the CryptNation group, one of the best chart guys I know. He says if it closes below 41, I think he thinks it's going to drop down even more into the 30s. So I mean, obviously we're in the 30s now, but I'm looking for a drop to maybe 38 and change, and then a bounce back from there. But we all have our opinions. I was looking for news to see if there's any particular event, or if this is just a cycle. I couldn't really find anything in particular. There was just some general article critical of Bitcoin. It didn't look like anything we hadn't seen before. So any thoughts on Bitcoin or the overall market? Anybody wants to share?
Would you mind if we could just take a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin with the Heikin-Ashi candles possibly turned on?
All right, so this is a 4-hour. Robert's asking for the Heikin-Ashi candles. If you're not familiar with those, it's an average of the time frame instead of the high and low with the wick. So, it's a smoother looking trend-based approach, but it's not quite the real thing. So bear that in mind. I've tried a few strategies based on this, at least in the scalping realm. It hasn't worked that well, but anyway, a lot of traders like to use them. So here you go, Robert. Anything in particular you're looking for?
Just the trend, I guess, which this seems to show from what I'm learning and understand. This is mainly showing like a general trend.
Right, we're trending down pretty
So
hard since the 5th.
Yeah.
Down over 16%. Of course,
like
this isn't exact, but yeah. All right.
Yeah, that was it. Thank you.
All right, let's look at Ethereum too. Okay, I've got this trend line down here, the support around 2450. I'd like to see that hold if we drop that low. It's been hanging around 3,000 most of the day. I did catch a buy order at 2950. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. But again, otherwise, looks just like it's cycling through a dip sequence. Hopefully it maybe dips a little more and then bounces back, breaks through 3,500, which has been the resistance lately, and takes off towards 4K. Excuse me. Ethereum was kind of our darling there for a while. It was doing better than Bitcoin. Since the 5th, it's down about the same, 16%. Okay, any questions on Ethereum, Bitcoin, or the overall market? Or Heikin-Ashi candles or the 4-hour chart or anything else? All right. Let's see if we can find some trades. What do we do in this scenario? I like to be cautious going in smaller than usual. Let's see if Altcoin Alert has anything for us. I'm gonna reload. And let's see, go the AA score first. Couple of coins I've never heard of. Hathor. Sounds like it's a Viking coin or something, but HTR, just for fun, I looked it up. It was sort of interesting. On the day chart, this is on KuCoin. It had a couple movements in November, another one in January, and then trending down pretty hard since then. Recovery until a few days ago, then trending down again on the hour. Just kind of a long slog down. And then on the 5-minute, it's got some short-term support right about just slightly below where it is now at 49 cents. We had a squeeze and it was starting to bubble out, but then we hit the SMA line. Looks like we're heading towards it again. I think I'd want to catch it down here around the bottom of the Bollinger Band if I were going to trade this, go in about maybe half the usual. If you want to go with your alerts, you might want to be, if we're being conservative, instead of the 15, you might want to go to the 30 and look for, I haven't talked about this much, but if at all, the RSI 50 value, a lot of traders like to use. So you put an alert on the 50, and this can be indicative of a trend. I mean, the S in RSI stands for strength. So it's crossing the 50 up. You know, that can be a sign of returning strength to the market, especially on a longer term chart. And maybe you want to go to the hour on that. Yeah, maybe the hour would be a better choice. Yeah, the RSI above the 50, MFI, it's a little slower. Yeah, I like the RSI above the 50 showing us that the market might be coming back, but I'd still be cautious. Have plenty of funds set aside for a ladder buy if I needed it. All right, any questions on Hathor? Okay. So that's really the only AA score that intrigued me. It's above 85. So let's go to our long-term sentiment sort. Got a few that are bullish, just a couple actually that are bullish. And I like KNC here because, you know, Bitcoin's dropped, you know, several percent today, which usually doubles or triples in the altcoin, but KNC's only dropped 1%. I've actually got an alert on this from my analysis this morning. Hasn't hit yet, but got bullish on the long-term sentiment, which is, as you might recall, the word on the street, Twitter information, Elder Impulse, which is a technical combination of indicators. When they both line up, it's worthy of further investigation. Let's check out KNC. I've got it here. Yeah, I set a really conservative price. Okay, I know what happened. My bullish divergence went off. I wasn't comfortable in taking it up there. I thought it was going to drop some more, so I set a confirmation alert down here. That's I would do that. I'll do that a lot. A double alert. You know, one indicator goes off, not quite confident, looking for a a confirmation of the confirmation. So but to KNC's credit, didn't really dip much. And had I been less conservative, I would have had a pretty good, you know, 5% move. So maybe that was too conservative, but KNC is one of the few that resisted the trend. So, okay, so on the 5-minute, what can we do with this now? Let's take this EMA out, skewing it.
KNC, is that KuCoin?
No, it's Kyber Network. And this is the Binance chart, but it might be on KuCoin, I'm not sure. You can trade this on Bybit too. Okay, oh, we didn't go over the big picture here, did we? Yeah, this one's been moving lately. Big pump, not sure why. I should know why, but I can't recall. And this might be why it resisted the Bitcoin drop today, because it's had so much strength on its own. It's up, it was up 50% here, then lost about half of that, then reclaimed it, and then some. So this one's been really volatile. And then on the 5, I don't know what we do this. It's just kind of trending up. It's not staying below the SMA line very long in the 5 minutes. So that's encouraging, at least in the short term. You might want to maybe go 15-minute on this one since it's showing some strength. Set an alert. It's already about above the 50 on this. I don't really have any good advice on this one. I've got my alert way down here. I think I can move that up to here. See this this support down here. So that's where I move my alert. So there's one course of action. I don't do that. Alert failed. Are you guys hearing me okay? I'm hearing my
Yep,
internet
yep.
connection's unstable.
You were frozen for me for a while.
Okay. Yeah, it might be time to upgrade this computer. I can't have a VPN on and 14 windows open and 8 databases and do a Zoom and have connection problems. What's up with that? All right, so I'm sorry about that. Yeah, on the MFI 15-minute, wait for, if you want to catch a dip sequence on the MFI or the RSI, you know, we like to do these alerts crossing up on the 30. Once per bar close, RSI, and there you go. We talked about those many times. You can also do divergence alert. Once per bar close and divergence. And there you go. So that's what I'd be looking to do on KNC, but I've already done that this morning. I'm waiting for my confirmation alert to hit. Hopefully I'll get in on that. Any questions on KNC? Alrighty then. And HEI is the other one that's bullish on both. Let's look at that, and then we'll head over to iCoinPro. Did I type that in right? AGI. Nothing came up. Except Bitfinex. All right. No, that's not it either. All right, I'm not seeing this on an exchange, so my bad. I should look that. I usually look up all or most of these ahead of time and didn't do that one. So I'm not seeing anything else worth looking at. We could look at Noia. I think we have looked at that one before. Okay, it's on KuCoin. Not much volume though. Day chart looks like a lot that we've been looking at the past few weeks. Big move in November, big dump, bit of a recovery, bit of a give back. On the hour, it's kind of intriguing. Couple of spikes, dipping from that. That's probably why it made the list. Okay, on the 5. Just hit the SMA line and validated the dip sequence. Dipping again a little bit. A lot of dojis and horizontal lines here, which usually is indicative of low volume. We don't like that. But if you're a brave soul, maybe do a swing trade on this. I mean, it's had some nice movements. It just returns to where it was before. You know, it's 8%. Maybe go half that or so. Top of the Bollinger Bands here at 5.88. Sitting at the SMA line now. Probably want it to make a decision first. You're going to go above the SMA and take off. Or you're going to drop below and into a dip sequence. So there's some short-term support here right around 18.2 cents. That might be a good price alert right about here. Something like that. Or we got our, I'm sorry, we're still on the, doesn't really matter where you put your price alerts, which charts you put them on. On the 15-minute for, oh, we're already below the 20 on the MFI, so it's oversold, usually due for a recovery. So I want to put your alert here on the MFI, say 23 to 25. Or you could say, hey, I think it's going to dip some more. It's kind of hovering here halfway between the Bollinger Band and the SMA line. So you got your RSI crossing up on the 30 value, which is the oversold, and you're off. And you could also do your divergence alert, positive divergence once per bar closed, and you're good. Divergence. Okay, went through that kind of fast. Any questions on Noya or Syntropy? Okay, any questions on Altcoin Alert in general? Otherwise, I'm gonna work my way over to iCoinPro. Okay. Okay, iCoinPro, and I've got my RSI SPY, which is, I'm probably using this a lot more than I'm using the Buddy Coin Crawler lately. And everything's oversold due to the Bitcoin drop. So most of it on the 1 hour and the 4 hour. Let me refresh this. I was looking at this one earlier, Convex Finance. This was a kind of a star of Coinbase Pro when it was listed there a month or two ago. Maybe it was longer. Let's look that over. Yeah, it might have been listed on Binance and Coinbase Pro about the same time. Big move at that time, gave most of it up. Covered about halfway and then dipping since. Dipping pretty hard from yesterday. Yeah, 17%. It's kind of matching Bitcoin at the moment. The 5-minute chart. Got one dip, not a second or third yet. Hasn't hit the SMA line, so it's no man's land right now on the 5-minute chart. Probably put a price alert around here on 28.20. See if it goes in that dip sequence. Might go for a 30-minute alert instead of the 15 with the uncertainty we have with Bitcoin. You can see we're below the 20 on the MFI and below the 30 on the RSI. So not much, but curling up. So you could put your alert here on the 30, which could go off any second. On the 20 on the MFI, same thing. and you have some sign of strength and recovery. This is on a dip sequence on the 30. You don't see that real often. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's why we do our dip sequences on the 5-minute, not the other one. Usually there's just 1 or 2 on the 30 or 1 hour charts. But yeah, I would use the 30 instead of the 15 on this for the indicators. Bullish divergence as well. All right, any questions on convex? Okay, you guys are pretty quiet. Let's see what else we have on the RSI SPY. A lot of these I haven't heard of. Heard of MFT and Quick actually, but I haven't traded them before. Maybe at MFT once or twice. Zcash, I've traded that recently. Let's check it out. Okay, big pump in November, pretty good recovery at the end of March, dipping since then. It's going to be a common theme or like a default template we're going to see. A similar 1 hour chart to what we just saw in convex. 5-minute. Kind of just a slow crawl. Well, we do have an invalidation of the dip sequence here briefly. And then essentially another one about to start. Not really, just kind of bounced off the bottom of the Bollinger Band here. Hasn't hit the SMA line yet, so we're in no man's land again on the 5-minute chart. Looking to the 30 for our alerts. Just like the last one, I want to go 35 to 40 on this RSI alert, crossing above. Maybe 25 to 30 on the MFI. Got bullish divergence on the histogram, 3 p.m. So about 2.5 hours ago. I think we're too far from that now for that to be useful. I did make a slight change in my indicators. I took out the OBV on balance volume. So I took that one out, and this is this one I loaded earlier this morning, but I'm contemplating adding the CCI, the commodity something index, because I'm working on a strategy with this in it. So, but I think the OBV is kind of useless. So I might want to take that one out. So on this one, yeah, I think I would. But we talked about those alerts on those indicators. So that's what I would do with Zcash. Any questions on Zcash? Okay. Well, let's go to the Buddy coin crawler. And though I haven't used this, this information source as much as I used to, I still like the concept a lot, and I still use that. I choose 3, 4, maybe 5 coins a day to follow based on usually what I see in the RSI SPY and what I see on Altcoin Alert, a couple other information sources if I don't see anything useful there. And those are the ones I follow. That way you're not following everything all the time and trying to keep track of dozens, hundreds, thousands of cryptos in a single day. That'll make you crazy. So on this one, we got the GMT token. I have traded this before. Really good volume on Binance. This drop-down menu, it'll take you straight to a trading view chart. So let's check it out. On the day chart, not much of a day chart, pretty recent listing on Binance on the hour. Actually, let's go over that. If you're on an exchange that doesn't have much history, find one that has some history. So things tend to get listed on KuCoin before Binance. So let's go ahead and look at this on KuCoin. We'll get probably more history, or we'll get the same exact history. I spoke too soon. Maybe some coins get listed at the same time in multiple places. Coinex. All right, so much for that teaching moment. Usually if something's new to Binance, I can find history of it at KuCoin or Bittrex or some of those older exchanges, but not that particular time. Green Metaverse token. Okay, let's save the world. I did that already. 1 hour. Drop, pump, drop again. 5 minute. Wow, that's a good looking dip sequence. 1, 2. If Bitcoin stays the same, we're really close on this one. I'd do an alert maybe around 225, 226 and get in there. You've got, assuming the SMA line drops a bit, you've got probably 5 to 8% to the SMA line. That's really good day trade. So yeah, this one's close. 1, 2. Yep. Catch it down here. You could have a nice 1, 2, 3 dip. Okay, well, that's about all I have for, well, actually, there's one more thing on iCoinPro. What is that fear and greed index? 32 fear. I think this is lagging a day. It just turned to UTC time. So it's lagging nearly a day for us. It'll probably be, high 20s, low 30s tomorrow. Okay, any questions on iCoinPro, the RSI SPY, the Buddy coin crawler? Yeah, I'm usually looking for values 5% or higher. There weren't that many, which kind of surprised me. I thought there would be more. Okay. Any questions on anything we talked about? Altcoin Alert, iCoinPro, the market overall. Okay, anyone I can pick on? Okay, I think I've got someone here who looks new to me. Who is LC? Can LC speak up? No, I don't want to talk. Okay, LC unmuted. That's a good sign. Can't hear you, whoever that is. Now, Mark is asking in the chat, why is Bitcoin going down? And we talked a little bit about this when we first started. I don't know exactly. I don't know if it's just a cyclical thing or if there's some news out there I'm not aware of, but I don't really have a good answer for why Bitcoin's going down. A lot of us were talking about, Bitcoin maybe dropping towards the end of March and then having a strong April, and we sort of got the opposite. We had a pump towards the end of March, and then April's been a down month. So maybe it's just the traders being contrarians. That's why we like dip trading. We're going against the grain. So sorry, I don't have a better answer for that. But I think this is where I will wrap it up for this portion of the Zoom. For those of you in Carbon, please hang around. I'll take a short break and then we'll get started on that one. since we're wrapping this one up a bit early, we should have time for that. I do have a call in an hour, so that I have to break away for. But for those of you on watching live, I appreciate it. If you're on the recording, I appreciate that as well. We'll see you guys on Friday. Happy trading.